Hello and welcome to today's masterclass on winning a fantasy basketball championship. Hopefully you can see my screen here where we have Maryland's four teams. One of them, we were lucky enough to get the sixth and final spot in the playoffs. And we will be shortly reviewing how that matchup appears to be going for the week of the 13th to the 20th. Secondly, we have another team, Average Jules, in fourth place, playing the fifth place Buckets. We have the well-known Portland Poots, who are kicking ass in first place and have no game this week. However, that does not mean our job is done. We are going to show Maryland how do we look to the future and prepare for any possible outcome over the course of this week as we sit back and sip on our Mai Tais, because we did a hell of a good job in the regular season. And then lastly, a very depressing, all right, narrow miss here. We went 8-1 last week. I thought that would have been enough, but it looks like we missed sixth place by half a game. Man, just one less tie. Yeah, don't want to talk about it. That one hurts. I'm sorry. We almost went 9-0, which would have been the most amazing comeback of all time. But yeah, this is why we never give up, because we almost made it. So yeah, we'll do better next year. And you can with these new tips I'm going to show you. Why are you yelling at me? Okay, so where do we want to start? I've kind of already put something together here. Let's just do Average Jules versus the Holy Buckets. That's for this week. We know that we are playing them. And let's just go into our smart tool here. Members, smart tool. We're going to pick the week in the league. So 166566. We have that here. And you can see I was already looking to the future for even next week because I believe you're going to dominate this week. So let's change this to our dates. We're playing against... who is it? Holy Buckets. Holy Buckets. We're going to make that your verses. And so it should show you what they believe if you were to replace no players. Chill, bro. All right. So you actually have a super lucky schedule going on next week. You have 46 games to their 40. So based on that, 6 more games, you have an extra 15%. I mean, I don't know how you don't win. You can see you're going to dominate points. It would take a lot to not win this category. You're up by 140. You're going to get 40 more rebounds, 70 more assists, 10 more steals. Blocks may be close, but you could also win field goals. So there's not a whole lot you have to do. I think you're going to easily win this week. I mean, an easy drop would be Horton Tucker. He only has one more game after today. So we're going to take that information and we're going to say, okay, assuming you're going to win this week, who would your opponent be next week, right? You can go ahead and prep and pick up someone, and you're in 4th, 5th. You would play the first place TRL. So I'm going to just go ahead and say, assuming you're going to win this week, we know we don't really need Talon Horton Tucker. How do you stack up against TRL, right? And it looks like it's going to be a tough match. Similar to you this week, they have 6 more games than you. So you're going to have to make some moves. We know you're going to win rebounds because you have Embiid, Walker Kessler, you got Brooke Lopez. This guy doesn't really have huge rebounders, so you should win that one. Same to go with big man stats, blocks. So you're going to win rebounds, blocks, field goal percentage, all these big man stats. But because you have so many centers, you're going to lose all of the, points, threes, assists, steals. So you're going to have to make a move where you gain on one category because you need to win 5. I think your free throws are fucked because you have Kessler and he's terrible. But what you could potentially do is steals. So assists and steals, this means you're going to have to make a move for the type of guy that would get that, which would be a point guard-esque type. So we're going to take that information, go into the weekly projections and say, okay, in this league, this is a different page. We want to punt everything. So all I'm looking for are for next week, the dates 20 to 26. I only want to leave unchecked the stats that I want. Who are the best available players if I'm only looking for assists, steals, and free throws? And you have obviously Caruso, he's known as a steals guy. You got Melton. I really like Thibault here. He crushes the steals. So basically, this week, since you're going to win, and Talon Horton Tucker basically only plays one more game after today, I'm going to go ahead and drop him for, I think, Thibault, just because he really specializes in steals, right? So he'll pick up this category. He might get some rebounds and quiet. And yeah, his field goal percentage won't hurt you. So yeah, that's how we do it. This says you should take Caruso because he's got one extra game. But since Thibault is just such a gangster steals guy, I think I'm going to go with him. And then you still have 4 ads this week, that 3 more after this that you won't need. So if you change your mind, you could also, let's see what the tool would say, right? So it knows that you're 4 to 5. You can check all the potential people you would drop and say, okay, but what if I replace 2 players? Tell me if I could win a category by replacing 2 players. And if this turns to a 5, all right, so they're saying you actually do have a chance to win by a very narrow margin, by, I guess this is a decimal, a fraction of a steal, if you were to drop Killian Hayes and Austin Reeves for Caruso and Josh Richardson. So that is also what you could do. You could wait till next week and do that. I don't know. I'm not so sold on Josh Richardson and Caruso too. And also you might want to keep Killian Hayes until this game's done, right? So after Tuesday, he's only got 1 more game. So maybe drop Killian here and then pick up Richardson there. So yeah, there's a lot of things you could do. Your other matchup, you only have 2 because one of them is a bye, is against Average Joels and Holy Buckets. So if we go to your leagues, no, sorry, that was the one we were just looking at. It's Big Nick Energy versus Charm. So that's this league. What league is this? 166233. Where'd it go? This one? Sorry. Where the fuck did that page go? Oh yeah. So if we want to look at that matchup this week, you versus Charmander, we've already got the dates in. Charm, it says you're going to dominate this dude 7-2. He got fucked without Durant, so we're just going to uncheck. I don't want to see his games because we know he's not playing, so we just don't include IR. And yeah, he's just got a bunch of people that aren't very good, so you're going to dominate him in every category. So again, we can look forward and say, okay, if we know you're going to beat Charmander, then who would you play next round? That would be the second place team, so Rook, right? So if we change this to next week and we change your opponent to Rook, is there anything we need to do? Oh wow, this is gonna be a super close matchup. So other than you dominating free throws and him dominating blocks, you guys have almost identical stats. So let's see if there's anything we can do to make it more in your favor. We'll start with just, is there one player that we could pick up and drop to just really make a difference? Look at that, boom. Killian Hayes for Delon Wright would like just completely help the team. I hope that's clear how easily it is to use this tool to say, okay, what one guy can really make me win my week without me even this is extra. I'm manually going in and a la carte trying to figure it out, but this tool will tell you What player can you pick up to help you win as many categories as possible? And you might think, oh, Killian Hayes is so good. The reason is the schedule. So Delon Wright plays 2 more games than Killian. So Killian is a clear drop. Similar to earlier, I think you would drop him after Tuesday, and then pick up Delon. That probably makes sense. Let's see who else. It's probably going to be Killian every time. Killian for Isaiah Joe, just to help you win the threes category. Yeah, so that is how we do it. Thank you for attending this masterclass on how to use the SMART tool, and we are open to suggestions for future learning materials. That's all, folks.